Hey everybody, it's Garrett, and been working on a series of video ideas to answer some questions, and I want to try and do it in such a way to where I won't hurt YouTube's feelings, and I don't plan on taking any of my content down, so I'd like for it to stay up. So I'm going to try and approach these from avenues that are historical, avenues that are scientific, and avenues that are artistic. But this first one is a little bit of each of those. I'm going to try to address with these questions. You see a lot of them on Facebook. You see a lot of them just in numerous forums out there. You hear them at your wherever you go to your local brick and mortar. There are a lot of questions on how-tos and whys, and I wanted to kind of delve into that, but I also have introduced about 25 maybe people to the pipe in person. At least half of them, I bought them their first pipe if they didn't already have one. I hope this angle is not horrible. It kind of looks like it is on the camera. But sorry, guess I should do the usual housekeeping. This is a Savinelli 320 Fantasia that has been modified to 9mm. Not quite the way that Just Piping has put out, but a similar way to what I had done in previous videos, but this time with an all-metric bit set, working my way up to 8mm, which is the perfect size for the Vowen 9mm filter. It's a nice snug fit, causing maximum filtration. It will not, the 8mm will not accommodate the White Elephant 9mm, which is usually my preferred filter, but these are my second favorite, so that will do the job. But I've taken some notes, and for this first one, this one's going to be, so you want to try the pipe. Now, there's a whole list of reasons, and I have them all written down, so you have to forgive me for doing some reading off of what I've written down, and I have quite a few notes. I've been thinking about this for a while. I even discussed it with Yusuf while he was here, and even though there's a Christmas tree in the background, my goal was to have this not be a seasonal thing, that it's just something that can stay up for reference. And if you guys have anything else you want to add in the comments, please do. Of course, be respectful. All the things we would ask of each other in this community. But the first one, the most common reason that a lot of people enjoy about it is the ritual. It's not like cigarettes. Cigarettes are fast. It's like I don't know, taking a sip of water because you're thirsty. That's not what this is. Not in the slightest. There's a relaxation ritual to it. There's a habit, there's a process, and a lot of people find that really amplifies how they relax. We're not going to talk about health this or health that. This is about the ritual and how you can sit in it and contemplate with it. That's one of the main reasons people enjoy it. Some of it is the craftsmanship. I mean, there are a million and one ways that this could be made, which is why each maker has a unique thing that they do, and they do it very well. They each have something fantastic that they bring in the craftsmanship, and that is something to be admired, absolutely. This is a acrylic stem, and if I can catch the light right, you'll be able to see all the shades and different colors in there, and yet it does not stand. It doesn't stand in juxtaposition to the briar itself in the pipe. There are soft angles. There are various contours. I myself prefer a rusticated. It's too narrow for my personal selection. It's a textural thing. I don't get that much of it from smooths. I don't have a lot of smooths, and the ones that I do have are not ones where you tend to hold the smooth, if that makes sense. But there's that. There's a sensory experience that might be what draws you to it. You know, you can sit back and, you know, if you like a fog machine, like a room filled with fog, but I don't know, there's something magical about seeing that billowing smoke. You know, when you sit around a campfire at night, you don't typically see the smoke. It's dark outside. You don't see that. And there's an aroma that comes with it that is also entirely its own. Cigars don't smell like it. Cigarettes don't smell like it. It is just something absolutely different. But to get beyond that, to get to the thing that is just irrefutable about it, there is a history to it. Pipes are, and tobacco in general, are a major part of American history. You cannot talk about American independence and undercut the value that those crops brought to American exports, even before, like, pre-colonial days. It was sought after. It was held up amongst leaders of the world as this thing to be wanted. It eventually eclipsed tea in the number of people consuming it. Whole cultures evolved their own versions of it. See Peterson or Savinelli. I mean, there's in France and in Poland, there are whole cities that is their entire identity, is their history with the pipe and with tobacco. You can't watch some of the greatest old movies without seeing someone with a pipe. And it is fun, I guess. It's alluring at the very least. The thought of being able to share that experience with someone you'll never meet. And you may not be able to get the same exact thing that they are having, but many of the things that were available then are, in some form or another, at least close approximations to what is available now. I myself have had Velvet from 1920. I have had Old Boar from, I think, also 1930. And the experience is quite different, although it is aged and that has a different profile, just like with anything else, with wine and every other thing that is allowed on YouTube. But there are these things that draw you to it. I was watching just Star Trek the other day. In Deep Space Nine, there was an episode where the character I most identify with had a pipe. And if you guys don't know, that would be Miles O'Brien. My entire existence is also fixing things. And just like Miles O'Brien said in that episode, I like machines. They are simple. They let you know when things are wrong. And once you have fixed them, everything is fine. But there is no understating the impact of media and how that impact can really connect you to things. Now, everyone loves Lord of the Rings. At least I've never met anybody who has seen it. There are plenty of people who haven't seen it, who don't appreciate it because, it's not their thing, or they just don't enjoy the way that certain parts of the story are told, and they read the books and they don't want that ruined, or whatever the case may be. But J.R.R. Tolkien, he was a massive pipe smoker. And so when he saw his characters relaxing and wrote them relaxing, they were relaxing with a pipe. And that's another moment where you can sit down and identify with those characters. You can identify with these literary... I'm trying to come up with another word for it, but icons isn't it. But like Sherlock Holmes, even modern interpretations of Sherlock Holmes, the one with Cumberbatch, he admits, because they couldn't put it on television, that he had to give it up. But then he talks about a detailed analysis of every type of ash, from every type of leaf and combination of leaf, and its deep analysis at different burning points, and I found that very enticing. That also seems like someone else can do that video. I'm not doing that video. I don't pay that much attention to detail. But these are all things that people enjoy about it. Now, there are some psychological reasons to enjoy it. For me, it provides this dedicated break from your goings on. This thing that is away from everything else that you could be doing. You are not in contact with your work, unless you work at a cigar shop or something like that, where that would be applicable. But for most of us, it is this stepping away from things. It is the ability to sit down and have all of those prior things, all of them come together. Any one of these things is a valid reason to try it. But I would also say that you should make sure that you enjoy it. There is plenty to enjoy. There are a myriad of combinations of flavors and things that can happen. There are ways to make the smoke billow. There are ways to make smoke thin and wispy. You can blow rings, or If you're good enough to actually blow shapes, I would love to see it. Tag me in that video. But the thing is it has to be for you. And the health benefits or lack thereof is not the topic. That's not the reason to do it. There are arguments to be made to and for, and that is for other people to make. Doctors, physicians, even psychologists. I've heard arguments both directions, but I feel like to acknowledge the reasons why maybe you're initially interested, and then to find reasons of your own are important. It does not have to be this expensive thing that so many people turn it into. Three of my favorite pipes to smoke are cobs. Two of them are the cheapest ones you can get. They aren't anymore because I found I like a certain stem. Found a way to get that stem onto those pipes and make the experience all that much better for me. And that goes back to the sensory thing. But it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be difficult. People overcomplicate it. And I'll do some videos breaking some of that down. I've done this for long enough and I've helped enough people. I feel like at this point I can stand on some level of moderate, not authority, but experience, and say that this is something you can enjoy. And if you can, you should. At least try. Now, not everything is for everyone. It's just not. I've tried chew, didn't like it. My saliva gets quite thick, and that did not help. And I have a gag reflex that I apparently can trigger with thick enough saliva. So to cut that story short, you can fill in those pieces. What happened with that? Don't like cigarettes. They're far too harsh. Not a very enjoyable experience. I don't like vapes. They aren't, there's not enough to it. There is some of those things with all of those other things. Some of the things that I mentioned exist in all those other places, but they aren't for me. And they may be for you, but perhaps this might be as well. I hope that this helps sort out some things for people. I know that this same conversation I have had at least 20 times. And hopefully some of the follow-up conversations I've had, I will address in the following videos, assuming that this one doesn't get just taken right off of YouTube for mentioning tobacco. But there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of hesitation. And I think that we could do with some answers out there that is accessible for people easily. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys have a great day. And I will hopefully get another one of these out, assuming this one doesn't get deleted. And then probably my whole channel, like they've done to many others. But I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later, and bye.